Office workers of Reddit, what's your go-to activity to look busy when you have no work to do? Just look frustrated with whatever you're doing. Squint at your computer screen. Shake your head. Let out an occasional sigh. Have a bunch of papers on your desk you can rifle through periodically. You don't want to look so frustrated that you might need some help. But if you do this right, everybody will think you're already too busy with something to be bothered. The George Constanza method is a classic. I'm a cleaner janitor in a warehouse complex. I just grab a broom or a bucket. Can walk laps of the place for hours without doing anything if I want. I feel like there's a Fitbit advert to be made in this somewhere. My coworkers don't really know computers like I do, and since my job is 90% on the computer, I just load up 3 or 4 Explorer windows over a random Excel spreadsheet and stare intently at it. I open Xcode and open anything really. Color text is boss repellent. If you work in a big enough building, you just put something important looking in one hand, papers, a clipboard works perfectly, etc., and scurry intensely from one random place to the next. Make friends in different areas, stop to chat briefly, find the good clean remote restroom and use it, grab a cup of coffee, help somebody else with work that's more interesting than yours, etc. Rinse, repeat. As long as you're holding something official looking, change it up, and hurrying semi-urgently from place to place, you can go like this right up to your yearly review. Hopefully you managed to get some actual amazing crap done here and there along the way. I'm in a senior IT role and I do exactly this, except I bring my laptop everywhere. Find something to read that they can't tell isn't work if they don't look close. Like, did you know the script of The Truman Show is online somewhere? That was a fun day. I read Ready Player One like this. Part of my job was just being up to date on research and best practice. So I'd have a PDF of a work-related journal article up and another PDF of Ready Player One. I only had to tab to the journal once. Check a Jira board that's not mine, but still interesting. For example, there's one which shows which employee has approved which accesses. It's all the same format with Jira boards, so it stands up to a quick glance. Although if you're looking at a long queue, people may wonder if you're really busy or really crappy at answering your tickets, and look at how many in progress there are. Open up various tools for system monitoring and look at them. If something went tee-up, we'd get an email, so I don't really need to do that. But it looks busy and maybe I'll notice something important. Otherwise I take some training courses or something. Most aren't very good, but it's fuel for my self-evaluation come mid-year. Hey, you never know. Maybe one day what goes tee-up is the email server. Management is pretty laid back where I work at. When we are busy, we get properly hammered, and I'd be doing myself a disservice by not keeping up. So when I'm browsing YouTube with earphones, they know it's a slow day with truly nothing to do. Your office is an exception, I'm afraid. Been 5 years since I worked in an office, but these. In a call center I'd dial a number I knew would not connect, i.e. leave last digit off. The line registered as busy, so my busy on a call stats were always very high. Just had to remember to cover the phone light with something if I walked away to make a coffee or something. Always leave something on the computer screen that is an Excel document with lots of data, etc. Remember to scroll from time to time and don't use a screensaver. Ideally your screen should be not seen by others walking past, but this is for when you can't control that. Tell others how busy you are. Needs to be done carefully so you aren't seen as a drama queen. Just time to time and slightly under your breath comments, well anyway, got to get back to my desk, lots on. Or in staff meetings or with your manager, praise the team. Thanks everyone for all the hard work getting done. This is a great team. Always carry documents with you when walking around the office. A folder or just any papers. Great for going to a chat with a coworker. From afar. If you are seen holding papers, you look busy and it must be about work, right? Thinking on that last point. Walk with purpose. Walk slightly faster than normal from A to B. Stay 5 minutes later than others leaving office for the day. Come to work 5 minutes before they do. Leave empty coffee mugs on your desk in the morning. Make a coffee, but have one with dregs as a spare prop. You've been in for ages at a glance. Oh, I'm having a bit too much fun with this. LOL. I like to allude to co-workers that I remoted in from home last night. Like, Yeah, busy this week, but I got a decent amount last night while watching the game. I never, under any circumstance, try to trick the IT guys. They freaking know if I don't do crap half the day. Make friends with the IT guys, especially if your company has computer tracking. I'm a social media manager, so I can just browse through Instagram and pretend I'm looking for inspiration, influencers, or the competition. Yeah, that's the best part. No one bats an eye when I am on Facebook at work. I'm a machinist, but I have a desk, so not an office worker, but this applies to me. I will browse MSC or McMaster-Carr and look at tools if a manager is around. When they ask what I am doing, I reply with spending company money. I walk around telling the elves to work harder, most of the time while eating some cookies and sipping a nice whiskey. The missus gets on me if I sit around too long in the off season. Note to self: next year tell the kids to put out whiskey for Santa instead of milk, and some sea for the reindeers. There's no other way they could get around Earth that fast. I frequently write emails to myself. Could be my grocery list, to DOS for after work, ideas that I don't want to forget, or planning the upcoming weekend. It's a great way to make my free time more efficient and organized while killing time at work. Have a stack of papers next to me. Take one of them and just start writing on it, occasionally squinting at your computer screen. I just draw and write about how I'm currently feeling and make list of the things I need to do when I get home. Former manager here, went back to consulting because it's more fun. Unless you're whacking it to furry P or something, just get your job done. I told my employees as much. Heck, I spend 30-40% of my day on non-work stuff, but it helps me recharge, and then I get more done in a half day than many of my peers do in a week. Some managers are idiots. Some organizations have idiotic ideas about what work should look like. My workplace is usually not particularly busy, and people openly do things like online shopping, reading things on the internet, and making private phone calls. But when I tried to use my dead time for messing with After Effects, I got told I can't do that at work. 2 screens. Full screen Outlook open. A terminal. Do an LSD in current directory. Other screen Jira. With a small YouTube screen. Do LSD. Gotcha. For the past year I'm being paid to watch Netflix and Twitch because of how little work we were having. I don't even pretend to do anything anymore. Sit at my desk for 15 minutes, walk to the file cabinet room, pull out a random file, make 3 copies, walk through the hall so everyone sees me with paperwork in my hand, slip out the side door, go to my truck, take a 30-minute nap, walk back through the hallway with my paperwork, shred it, go back to my desk. If anybody asks, I just tell them I'm cleaning up paperwork before the end of the billing cycle. I can repeat this all day long if I need to. I open up Excel and type random work words into the cells. X, overtime, PTO, budget. I don't even know how to work Excel, but the higher ups appreciate all the work I'm doing, lol. I used to have so many of these, but then about 5 years ago I switched to working mostly remotely from home, and now it's just wiggle my mouse every few minutes so my Skype presence stays green. If it's a job I care about and enjoy, I don't. If I'm not busy, I go and ask for more work. My first job out of college, I worked at a company that treated all of its employees like garbage. 17-24 people quit in the 3 months that I was there. I listened to audiobooks and pretended to click on Excel files. Good dental insurance, though. I got my first cavities ever while I was there, maybe from increase in alcohol to deal with the job, and I only had to pay like $100 to get all of them fixed and replace my retainer. That's an easy way to stop caring about and enjoying your job, if your boss decides you doing more work is the new baseline. About 2 years into my first office job, I really started digging into the various reports we had access to. I found one really obscure report, you know, the type that was probably built for one specific project but they left it up anyways. Well, I found out that it would actually give me all the updated numbers for my categories, retail, corporate, office, daily, as opposed to either at the beginning of the week, or having to run a bunch of reports when I needed them. I didn't really need this every day, and it had a lot of excess I didn't need, but whatever. This report took about 5 minutes to run, but for some reason it basically locked up all the resources on the computer and I couldn't do anything pretty much. We used auto hotkey for a lot of functions, so I set up a quick script to F5 every 90 seconds, which would restart the report to run, without having to re-enter the parameters. Set it up to do that enough times for 30 minutes, combined with sitting with my back to the door and getting good at napping upright with my hands on the mouse and keyboard. And I got really nice 30-minute naps in the morning while looking busy running this report that took a while to run and was prone to crashing and restarting. Have a spreadsheet open, with a formula cell or some type of graph also open, but in reality just on the internet. In my line of work, also having Google Maps or SurveyMonkey tab open keeps me looking busy. Have you played GeoGuessr? GeoGuessr.com. If you need street view periodically then it'll blend right in and it's surprisingly engaging. I have no idea how you guys can do nothing with so much dedication and intensity. I get twitchy if I don't have a problem to solve or something to focus on. So how the frick can you manage to last 8 hours while doing nothing but staring at nothing on your screens? I really don't get it. I think I was born broken. Start reading books. Walk anywhere fast. That's it. People think you're heading somewhere important if you walk quickly and with purpose. Little do they know I am only working out my glutes and nothing else. I get in around 9:30 and usually zone out for an hour in front of my computer, but it looks like I'm working. I then zone out for another hour after lunch too. In fact, in a given day, I'd say I do 15 minutes of real, actual work. When I was in the culinary field, anytime I wanted a short break, I'd just grab a random container and walk around with it. No one bothers you if you do, haha. As for my current office gig, I recently started writing fanfiction with Word or Notepad during free time. Anyone who glances over at me sees me pounding away on the keyboard so they think I'm busy as frick. In reality I'm writing away about people getting their butt kicked or fighting monsters. If my boss starts giving me the side eye tomorrow while I'm scowling at my computer screen, constantly running to the office scanner, and leaping from my desk and into the hallway with a folder and a pen, I'll know he follows this sub. Open up an old project on one screen, read articles Reddit on the other screen. If I hear someone coming, look at the other screen. I like to build SharePoint sites or databases, or create spreadsheets about decisions I need to make. Also look at homes for sale that I will never be able to afford. Look busy, stare intently. I kept on researching the same invoice a bunch. It's been horrible. I appreciate being in a workplace, but my last gig had lots of downtime. Just click stuff. We have a system on our PC. I just go from this page to that, pretending to read stuff. Click, 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 very busy. Well, I'm not an office worker, but I'll share my go-to-move anyway. I work as a restaurant manager, and when I can't find something to do I'll walk with a steady pace to the back room, the backside of the restaurant where we still seat customers, and kinda just survey for a sec. Make it look like I'm actually gathering info for a big top or something, lol. Have on headphones. Have a printout of a report study, bonus if it's marked up with notes. Lean over it like I'm studying it intently. Take a nap. If I need to be unavailable urgently, I will pick up the phone and call my work center's voicemail. I'll listen or re-listen to every single second of every single voice prompt and message. People don't usually bother me if they see I'm on the phone. I make a frowny face like I'm deeply concerned by something, and flip back and forth between tabs on my computer. Or I flip to a scribbled on page in a notebook, make the same frowny face and scribble some more lines while holding my head in my other hand. I used to read about the stock market and try and learn how to invest. No one ever said anything, but I guess that's not really a super slack way to spend time. 20 or so years ago I had a few monitors on my desk, and I'd write a .bat file or shell script to issue certain commands over and over again. Or I'd just tail the mail spool on one, and have netstat and traceroute running over and over again. Fooled my boss for a good decade. When I was in the army, I did a lot of walking around with a clipboard and some printed off pages of a book. I could walk around, stand around and read a few lines, look around like I was inspecting things, scribble something in the margins and then keep walking around. I recently got a writing prompts notebook that makes me look like I'm writing things in a regular notebook, but I'm actually answering random questions like what was your dream as a kid? Would you be that now? Or what are your 3 favorite items in your living room? Crap keeps me busy for quite some time and looks like I'm designing an advertisement. Downloaded PDF version of a book and open it up. Split screen with an Excel sheet. Read. I powered through the Game of Thrones book series in 2-3 months at my last job. It's my go-to way to kill time and look busy at work. This'll sound like kissing butt, but honestly, there is always work to do. I always have a side project for when my work is reasonably caught up, and a backup project that's offline work, for times when the computer system is unexpectedly down. Put on headphones and mouth I'm training people back off. It's hazmat training. It's a few weeks long. People back acting like it's contagious. I'm in its support and a lot of our clients do Skype meetings where I listen and very occasionally chime in. So I just put headphones on, and if anyone approaches I mouth on a call and they walk off. Since most meetings take an hour, can do this 2-3 times a day sometimes. I go hide in our warehouse and listen to podcasts. Everyone figures I'm cleaning or taking inventory. Whenever someone comes in I pick up my clipboard and write something. Unfortunately, where I work there's always loads to do. But here's the thing. Sometimes you don't want to. So in that case, just find some stuff you need to post and go hang out in the post room for a bit. I book myself a small meeting room and put on my headset to make it look like I might be on a phone call when I'm really watching Netflix on my phone. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.